Maverick and I just finished up the sprint here in Cincinnati, and that closes out another trifecta weekend. That's back-to-back weekends for us. Cincinnati never disappoints. We've been coming here at least the last 3 years. It's a tough little mountain. I would put it probably number 4th hardest in the U.S. Killington definitely number 1. Big Bear in Utah, you can kind of go back and forth with 2nd or 3rd. And then Cincinnati is definitely up in the probably 4th spot. It gets its toughness mainly because it is loaded at the end with the hard shit. You have the nasty, famous barbed wire crawl up the hill, probably mile 12-ish on the beast, and then a sandbag going down the mountain and back up right after that. It just really stacks everything at the end and really kills you and sucks your soul away. Maverick ended up running the beast and the sprint. Kate ran the super. Both of them were suffering a little bit in the heat. It wasn't, temperature-wise, wasn't horrible, but the sun was definitely out. It was a good thing they had the ice machines out making snow cone mountains. The dogs both really enjoyed that, let them cool off some. Wish I had film of Kate burying her face in it and just rolling around having a good time. Maybe the photographer by the one caught that on camera, because I wish I had that on film. Overall, great weekend. I feel pretty good. It wasn't as hard as the Fort Carson race, and that's probably because we ran the Ultra there versus the Beast. It's probably the big difference. The only thing that's really bugging me is my little toe that had a pretty bad blister on it in Fort Carson never healed. And Cincinnati sends you into the water. There's actually a lot of water crossings, so your feet were wet all weekend. So the little blister that was on the side of my toe is now like 360 degrees around my toe. Looks a lot like a white balloon with a toenail trying to hang on. It's pretty disgusting. I should probably start an OnlyFans page. I'm sure there's people out there that like disgusting feet, make a little bit of money. Don't think I've ever seen Maverick this worn out. He was excited to come out of the RV this morning and then quickly realized we were running again and wasn't just into it. So he kind of struggled on the sprint the whole time, and when we got back to the RV, he definitely just passed out. He's sleeping behind me. So I don't think I've ever seen him so tired. Makes me realize what a beast Zeus was. When he started running with me originally, he was the only Spartan race dog. So he ran every race with me, every weekend. Never complained. And even when Tank joined in, Tank only really ran the sprints. He did a couple of supers. So again, for at least the first couple seasons of Zeus's life, he ran every race and was always excited. So the only other downside to this race was the ticks were bad. I've never had an issue with ticks at any races. Maverick was taking a lot of breaks in the tall grass during the beast, so I was kind of sitting off there with him, so I ended up flicking maybe 3 ticks off my socks that were crawling around, and then I picked about 6 off of him in the RV later that night, so that's kind of gross. Like I said, never had that issue, but I'm sure it was because we were off in the grass, kind of off course. But I have seen some people on Facebook saying they had some tick issues, so maybe Cincinnati's just got a lot of ticks this year. I don't know. Either way, if you ran the race, check yourself for deer ticks. You don't want those things on you. Other than that, great weekend. I think I've perfected my registration technique. Didn't really help here in Cincinnati, but what I've been doing this year is I usually schedule all my races at the very beginning of the year and just buy everything. This year I have been buying them as I go because I don't really know what races. I haven't really planned out the season. But what I've been doing is buying the Beast and the Super online before the race, then you go through registration like normal. And then I've been buying the Sprint at customer service on Sunday. And why that is better is lots of times the sprint line is huge and the customer service line is small, so you get to pass all the sprinters and register that way. And the extra bonus is you don't pay, at least with the season pass, they don't charge you parking the second time. So if you run the super and the sprint and you buy online, you end up paying parking twice. If you didn't know, you can email Spartan and tell them all the races where you paid it twice on the same day, and they will refund the money very quickly. But it's just kind of a pain to have to email them and then come up with the list of races and everything. So if you go to registration or customer service on the second day, like I said, you bypass the sprint line. If it's long, it wasn't today, so that didn't help. But then you don't pay parking, so it ends up being cheaper and you don't have to go back and get a refund. So tip, after doing hundreds of Spartan races, I finally figured that out, and it is good that way. Other than that, weekend is done. We are headed from here up to Canada, Mount Tremblant next weekend. Kind of a short drive, maybe 14, 15 hours, which is nice. The only downside is that's like 3 hours a day, so we're gonna have lots of time to kill in the RV and hang out. So we'll have to find something to do with the dogs or maybe visit some places. But either way, we're headed to Canada, so hope to see you there. If you want to help support Spartan Race Dogs and save yourself some money, stay tuned for a message from Snoop about the Upside app.
Download the Upside app to get cash back on gas and groceries. Available in the Google Play Store for Android and the Apple App Store for iOS. Spartan Race Dogs has been using the Upside app for 2 seasons and have saved almost $1,000. Use promo code MARK4665 and get an extra 15 cents off per gallon bonus. Or scan the QR code. Spartan Race Dogs gets a referral bonus when you sign up. It's a win-win, and we appreciate your support.